Tonight we have, I sort of consider him my brother from another mother, Sam Hyde. It's funny, I got a recommendation from Yes Boobs, the people we have on with the enormous tits, and they go, you should try this guy Sam Hyde as soon as possible. And I was like, yeah, he's my co-host tonight. He is the most offensive stand-up comedian in the world. He makes awesome videos that are so good that I saw him as a separate dude. I have this problem where and maybe it's because I'm old, but with young people and their different identities, it's the opposite of conflate. I separate all these identities. So I knew of this dude that I met. I brought him to Rooster, and we had a long talk about doing videos. That was one guy. Then I saw this dude who did this totally offensive comedy. I thought that guy was cool, too. I met both of those dudes. Didn't realize they're the same dude, Sam Hyde. The same dude that Yes Boobs recommended we have as a guest. So, ladies and gentlemen, please keep your applause to a minimum as we invite the co-host of the night, Mr. Sam Jefferson Davis Hyde. Yo!
Hey man, let's bring it in for the real thing here. Give me a hug. It's been a minute.
It has been a minute.
It's been a minute since I saw you last.
Yeah, when did we see? When we saw each other last, it was as the video guy at Rooster. Yeah. You lived in Connecticut. Your mom slept on the couch and you slept in her bed, I believe.
I was living with the mom. You told me, and you told me that I looked like I was wearing a T-shirt and like some really bummy outfit, and you told me that I looked like I should be cleaning toilets at a frat. And so I came out tonight in an extra snappy looking.
Really? Now you look like an immigrant who won the lottery.
Well,
You look like a Polak whose brother discovered like grapple grommets or something, and he went, "Come to America. I will buy you a Ferrari, and you will have all the leather you can imagine.
Hell yeah.
You will have leather jacket, leather hat. You can have leather pants." What's with the water in your pocket?
I need a backup here. I'll just put it down there.
He came with 2 containers of water. How much water does a man need?
I get thirsty.
For people who don't know Sam, he is an inspiring force in the world of content. I don't want to say stand-up comedy because you do other stuff. So maybe we should introduce the fans. When's our first guest? Did we already breeze past him? We
2
have
minutes.
him at 9:45. When's Nero?
In 2 minutes.
Oh, fuck. I always overbook these fucking shows.
We got
You should go.
Yiannopoulos coming on.
Yeah, you're done.
Okay,
that
bye.
was a good set. Thank you for coming by. Yeah, we got Yiannopoulos. Let's I guess introduce everyone to you after he comes on.
Hi, this is Anthony Cumia,
Hello, I'm Gavin McInnes,
and together we're Compound Censored.
and we would like you to subscribe with this deal using this promo code right below me right now.
Do it, because it's very entertaining.
Because he's done some scooping where he's exposed. I sort of feel like he works at the sewage plant because he gets involved with the farthest right of the conservative thing. He gets involved with Gamergate. He gets involved with all these who are fighting bullshit they don't believe in. And then he spots when they do something wrong. And I'm just like, you're with filth.
Yeah, definitely in filthy crowds, and he's in Britain, so it's sort of the epicenter.
As Archie Bunker said, a country.
The epicenter of modern degeneracy. I think the gayness, it's the gossipy nature. I absolutely don't have the stomach to even read about that shit. It's so disgusting. I can't take it for more than like 10 seconds.
Right. Yeah, you read about someone who's a pedophile, and you go, ew, click.
Yeah. But it's good we've got gay guys digging in, getting the info, getting the 411 on these
media
he-she's.
is gay. Pick up a magazine, New Yorker, New York magazine. That we have kids, and you will have kids eventually. Yeah, gay and you don't have time to go to these events, but gays have nothing but time, and so they end up creating most of the media. and
Well-
getting into the. So did you understand what just happened there?
I understood parts of it. Yeah.
Okay, so here's the deal.
We got this hot chick who is, I guess, a guy actually. And what's it's a
A prominent female journalist who works at various left-wing blogs. Turns out it was a dude and wants to fuck kids.
Oh,
I think.
there you go.
Secondly, there was another guy who was a horrible, evil terrorist who was planning to. Can you not eat candy when
Sorry.
we're on TV?
Sorry, Gavin.
Evil terrorist who was exposed as being a member of the Daily Kos contributorship. And the founder of Daily Kos goes, I don't have to worry about shit like that. That's the kind of shit Breitbart has to worry about. Can you pull up that tweet? Just look up Daily Kos founder's Twitter. I think it's his last one.
Can we bring back? Can we have helicopter rides for these people?
No.
Huh.
No, we don't want to kill people. We're pro-life.
No violence. Pro-life.
Oh, we're plenty violent.
Okay.
Why can't you find that fucking tweet? There we go. Breitbart writer arrested for terrorism for trying to help terrorists build bomb. He is a Daily Kos writer.
Hell
You
yeah.
fucking boob.
Hell yeah.
And Marcos knows he can't take it down now because that's even more embarrassing. So it's just sitting on his timeline as embarrassingville. Anyway, that's enough of that. We got one up on the left. Ha ha, you fucked up. Let's introduce Sam. I want to hear more about Sam.
Sure.
I've got a guest coming on very soon. But my problem with stand-up comedy is it's like painting. And in the year 2015, you go, you're a painter. And I go, well, what do? You do landscapes? That's been done. We've seen landscapes. We've seen portraits. We've seen abstract. I'm not interested. And stand-up comedy has become so monotonously predictable.
I agree.
Oh, Jesus.
I gotta take the battery out because it's not going off. I don't want to be rude. There we go. Perfect.
He's got a pile of candy down here, 2 water bottles, and a dismantled cell phone.
I'm nervous. I don't want to mess up. I need all my gear with me.
So you, on the other hand, are one of the few comedians who goes out there and is so fucking abrasive and offensive and bizarre that it reinvigorates my faith in the genre, in the field.
Well, it's more or less exactly as you say. I try not to do things that have been done, and I don't want to be like a shock comedian.
Right.
I would like to do something that is inventive and original, and that's the main thrust of when I go out there and ham it up.
Well, I don't know if I sent the email to Rat, but you did a thing. You did a TED Talk recently. What the fuck is going on? Are you a pickup artist? What is with your hair?
Hey.
Did magic tell you to do that? With this fucking fur hat on? Get some color in there. You did bring a chick, though, didn't you?
Yeah.
So it is working. Yeah. Can you find his TED Talk, Rat?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was the premise here? You were from the future, and you were laughing at how much has changed since 2015?
There's a whole industry of people who make a living by being futurists and going around to schools and going on the radio and presenting their vision for what the future is going to be like. And it's the easiest fucking thing in the world. All you have to do is pick up a cell phone, you look at some tweets, and then you go, oh, we're going to have cars that drive themselves. This is amazing. And there's this whole, like, Bill Nye and Neil deGrasse Tyson and...
Worst guys ever.
They just take... They're just like, oh, we're going to have space travel soon. It's cool. And then they get fucking a lot of money for that.
Yeah.
And so this is my lampoon of that whole genre.
But they didn't know you were going to do this. I mean, they
No.
didn't condone this.
No.
And you hijacked it for what, like 30 minutes?
Yeah. I told them that I was I was with Vice and that I was a Somalian war videographer, and that in Somalia there are this tribe of women who are cleaning up the streets and taking back the streets from the terrorists, and that I
that's
did
awesome.
video journalism out there. And the event organizers, prior to the event for 15 minutes in the chat box, all my shithead fans were in the chat box, like writing fuck you, and all this like terrible stuff in the chat box. And the event organizers were seeing this, and he came up to me as this meek Indian dude, and he was like, Sam, you are sure this is the Somalian war journalism? I was like, yeah, it is. That's exactly what it is. But
Yeah, it is, fuckface.
Yeah, and they let me continue on there.
Let's just play it goes on forever, and it's totally unintelligible. But let's just play some of it, shall we? Rat? I look like a ghost.
No weapons, and just 11 guys who didn't even speak English. And that proves that sometimes great ideas are actually horrible ideas.
What are you wearing?
I'm Sam Hyde. I'm an important thinker. I'm a creator, innovator, artist, idea.
Were you trying not to laugh?
But above all else,
I have a problem with that.
I'm a passionate, childlike innovator.
You already said innovator.
I've been all around the globe.
You gotta drill it in.
All around the globe.
I've been all around the globe working on cutting-edge projects of all kinds. And I'm here to ask you one question. Where are we at? Where are we? We've got all this great technology. We've got 7 billion people in the world. And according to UN projections, it's going to go up to 50 billion people. That's a lot of mouths to feed. And I don't think they're going to be able to feed themselves. So we better start coming up with some robots to bridge that gap.
What were people
The
doing?
West's sick addiction to
quietly.
fossil fuel
Being
is
polite.
going to make this planet
What was your
uninhabitable for the
What was your
future
vibe during this? Were you giddy?
I was anytime I do something public, I get worried that it comes off as like a terroristic type thing, and that I'm going to get yanked off by some sort of security team, and it always makes me nervous. So, but I was a little bit giddy too. I was very excited to be up there.
It makes me giddy watching it
Hitting
because
him
it's
with
so
that.
stupid. I did a TED Talk once about teamwork. It was for a teamwork-themed TEDx Brooklyn, which is like a shitty TED Talk. And
That's what that was a TEDx,
Oh, okay.
the shit version.
The off Broadway version.
Yeah.
And my shit was like teamwork's stupid, and the people who have really changed America were individuals that
Hell
didn't
yeah.
have a team, and everyone hated them, and
Fuck
they
yeah.
were dicks. Even Albert Einstein was a fucking dick who wasn't into teams. But the fucking 2 guys before us were these Australian dudes who came out, and they had a whole thing about. It was so choreographed where he goes, when I awoke, I realized that I was alone in the world. And that's when. And then his friend comes in and goes, that's when I met Charles. And we were friends. And then it was all like a gross Calvin Klein commercial.
The thing that I love so much about the TEDx, and in the actual legitimate TED Talks, you have people who have careers and they have some degree of talent or insight into their field, and they actually know what they're talking about. In the TEDx talks, they're aping what they see in the TED Talks, and they're coming out and they're delivering these platitudes and these like big sounding, open-ended conceptual questions, and they have the act down pat, like they really have studied the act.
Exactly.
And I love how I love that.
That's what these guys were doing. They were like, a question is awareness. And then they would spin around and the other guy would go, awareness is a question. And you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? And their whole premise was, because then he said, and then I was diagnosed with AIDS. I'm doing British because I can't do Australian. And the premise of their talk was, if you see someone with AIDS, don't recoil in
Was
horror.
he really diagnosed with AIDS?
Yes. And you're like, wait a minute. No one recoils in horror if you have AIDS. No one gives a fuck anymore. In fact, I read an article the other day that was insulting gays who don't fuck guys that are HIV positive, because that's like AIDSist.
Yeah, that's AIDSist. But I still recoil in horror when I hear someone has AIDS. Get me the hell away from them. I don't want. That's airborne now.
I've actually I'm so pro-gay that I have let dudes with AIDS fuck me in the butt.
Nice.
Just to raise awareness. Is Britain a canary in a coal mine, or are we not
They're a
capable of?
sacrificial lamb. And they're fucked. They're so fucked. There's no turning back for Europe. Goodbye. Bye,
Peace,
Europe.
Peace, Europe. Peace, people accepting thousands of Syrian refugees who were taking selfies with selfie sticks. Goodbye. You just got invaded, you fucking morons. Did you not notice that? Didn't you read the story of the Trojan horse? How fucking dumb are they? Jesus Christ.
Well, I mean, it's probably going to happen here in like 10 years, the next 10 years.
Maybe.
Unless we get Donald J. Trump elected.
Yeah! You know, I was Michael Moynihan was on Bill Maher with Bill Maher. That's the name of the show now. That's
Bill
how
Maher
egotistical. It's called Bill Maher with Bill Maher. Anyway, he said 10 years ago when he lived in Sweden, the far-right sort of National Front Nazi Party was 2% of the voters. Now it's 51%, and Denmark is the same.
Is this an actual Nazi party? Is this an...
No, but it's very, very far-right.
Well, so why call them Nazis, though?
To accentuate the point.
But what? I mean, what's the beef with the far right? Like, why?
I don't have a beef. Oh, okay. Actually, that's a good question.
Why call them Nazis? Why say they're Nazis if they're not? Are they actual Nazis?
No, they're not actual Nazis.
Okay.
You got me, Sam. You got me.
I'm not trying to get you.
I know.
I'm just asking you.
I'm just being hyperbolic to make a point. My point was what was considered nut bar Nazi skinhead stuff 10 years ago is now mainstream in Denmark and Sweden.
Well, you're considered nut bar Nazi skinhead stuff by most people.
Oh, right. And I'm sure I would agree 100% with these parties in Denmark and Sweden. I'm not...
so you're just saying to give people an idea, I don't know.
I'm giving people an
Lost.
idea of how far things have changed, how far the pendulum has swung to the right.
Okay.
And in Denmark has made it very clear they're willing to accept 0 Syrian refugees.
Isn't that a good thing?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a great thing.
Okay.
Sweden is the same. And I don't get why Britain is still Sweden and Denmark 15 years ago.
It's that pathological white altruism, the same thing that inspired Brits to end slavery, which I think is a really good thing. The altruism, the feeling of generosity for outgroups, is the reason why they are.
Okay, but why doesn't Denmark and Sweden have those same tendencies? They got more. Britain's doing
probably got more.
Great for.
Is Britain doing good? Is it great as in a lot of?
Yeah, they got plenty. Rotherham was what?
But they're doing a good job of ignoring the child, though.
I know. I don't get that though. Why are they ignoring them? Where Denmark and Sweden are going. Oh, I just noticed you. 1 in 4 of our women were not pro-Islam anymore.
That's not good.
Anyway. So Jack Buckby is in the throes of it. I want to get back to Sam though. Let's get back to some of your offensive comedy that makes everyone super uncomfortable. Rat, can you pull up Sam's homophobic
Pull up that great AIDS joke I made.
comedy? I'm not sure if this helps Rat find it, but I was watching this video of you where you just talked about how unnatural it is to be gay in Williamsburg, where it's unnatural not to be gay, and people just started pouring out of the venue.
Well, that was an exercise in how quickly I could clear the room out, and it was very successful.
It really did empty.
Yeah.
How does Rat find that?
He's got it right there, I think.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, there we go.
All right.
Give me the blow. Okay, here's me right here. I listen to top 40 radio hits. I want you to blow my mind by telling me your favorite band right now. Look, come on, man, impress these people. You're gonna get so much.
What's this got to do with gays?
I don't know. He's the routine is 20 minutes long.
All right, let's fast forward to where people start leaving.
They're all gone there.
We're ignoring the fact that OCD and bipolar disorder are
It's supposed to be about comedy and stuff.
well, I'm trying to get a message across here because I understand you guys have seen some funny stuff and maybe you're ready for some sort of thing that's a little bit more intellectual. Sources that I'm using, they're not anti-gay hate websites. They are websites that are run by gay people and frequented by gay people. So let's talk about the Bareback Brotherhood, okay? Here's a quote from their website. The Bareback Brotherhood is a social
Pause parties.
Pause.
The
sorry.
HIV positive.
Oh,
Pausing.
pause. POS.
Getting paused up.
Yeah, go back, Rat. I love people walking out of a place.
Pause those holes. This guy's ultra paused right here.
Yeah.
He decided to make a statement by holding a camera up, and yeah, he's fucking tough.
Websites that are run by gay people and frequented
Donut
by gay
man.
people. So let's talk about the Bareback Brotherhood, okay? Here's a quote from their website. The Bareback Brotherhood is a social network of men from around the globe from all walks of life. We agree on one thing. Sex between men without barriers is natural and a legitimate choice.
Is he on your side or not on
No,
your
he's
side?
just some little.
He's
I thought he
fine.
was funny.
Intimacy should be a choice that is not demonized or marginalized.
No
Fuck
offense.
more, fear less. That's a nice little motto to have there. Here's a profile from that website. Piero here, nice to meet you, spelled N-E-A-T. I'm mainly into man sex, anal sex, and body fluids exchange. I love porn, and I like
jump
almost
forward a bit,
anything
Rat.
sex, as long as it's played.
So you were talking about
Pause parties where men who are HIV positive meet up with men who are HIV negative in the hopes that they can share some of the love.
and that's a true thing.
Yeah.
And that made these hipsters so offended they stormed out of the venue.
They were so triggered by the fact that some gay men desire a deadly virus that they decided to walk out of the stand-up comedy show.
Now, comedy is an art form. Shouldn't you be impressed that you were just introduced to something you'd never heard of before, which is homophobic comedy?
Exactly, and also
Based on
just
true facts?
Just the factual information alone, I think, is very interesting. Like,
I'm
I would sit
fascinated.
there, I would listen to those facts, and they're all true. I didn't say anything that was untrue. I'm not going to lie about gay people. Okay, I'm not going to start lying about gay people.
Did you also say that gays are more likely to have OCD?
Yeah, I think I said all the mental health statistics that I could find that looked reputable.
And what are they?
Whipped some of those out. I don't have them off the top of my head.
But gays are more likely to have OCD.
They
and
got some
ADD.
bad stuff going on, and it's probably straight white men's fault. But nevertheless,
did it.
nevertheless, they got some
stigma.
tricky head games going on.
I was thinking about homosexuals recently, and I'm surrounded by them at all times.
Okay.
My wife's a hag. But there's been some troubling events in my personal life over the years, and they're very, they're minutia. They're not a big deal, but they're troubling. Like, my wife was with her gay friends, and they were all posing for a photo, and I saw this very peripherally. And as they were posing, I think it was at Fashion Week, and one of them, and she loves these guys. Like, she spends hours a day with them. And one of them sort of goes, "This one's just for the boys, honey," and sort of gave her a little bit of a push. And then they posed without her in the photograph. And I thought, that's kind of fucked up. Like, no straight dude would ever do that or get away with that. That was one. That was many years ago.
Yep.
And then the second one happened pretty recently with my close gay neighbors. And he lost his dog. His dog wandered out because we were lighting fireworks. And I go over to him as he's crying because he thinks his dog is gone. Dogs just leave when you do fireworks, and then they just come back when the fireworks are done. Your dog's fucking fine, and he was fine. So my point was, I was going to go, dude, you're crying about something that hasn't happened yet. You don't know that your dog's gone. And when I came up, he went, "Just get the fuck away from me, please. Don't talk to me." He was crying. "Just get the fuck away from me." And I thought, we're not really friends. You don't really like me.
Yeah.
We hang out all the time and get drunk, and you slept in my bed nude once when I woke up and thought my wife's looking particularly slim this morning, and then realized I was looking at a nude dude. But I got a weird feeling that he doesn't actually like me.
Yeah.
And I want gay separatist sentiment where they like you and everything's cool, but like a lot of bitter old Jews, they don't really see you as a colleague. There is some deep-seated resentment there.
Well, that's those interesting observations.
Thank you very much. And I haven't ironed them out. These just occurred to me over the past 48 hours. I've been sort of sitting on the train going,
Absolutely.
because you're clearly different if you're gay. You're an albino. You're like a vegetarian lion. We were born to propagate. That's why the penis is shaped like that and all that stuff. So it goes, there's no one can argue that you're weird. I'm not saying you're bad. I like most of you. But you're definitely weird. And after years of being weird, you sort of must feel a sort of a distance from everyone else.
No, that makes sense. Sounds about right, along with what I've noticed.
Maybe gays are less likely to jump into a pond to save a drowning Sam Hyde than a straight would be?
Well, someday we'll find out.
Did I see
Mike
you
Brown
do
one?
stand-up where you were just repeating what black comedians say?
Oh, that's Gutta Main.
Gutta Main.
Yeah.
Because I listen to a lot of black comedy and I go, this is fucking racist. Like they'll go, white people like to go hiking and shit in the country. They don't understand that that's where bears live and that bear will fuck you up. And you go, you don't understand math.
Well, I like black comedy. This was just a way of taking something that is disarming. You know, people are going to see this and realize it's a black comedy act and be disarmed by it, and then I can throw in a bunch of wigger shit. Black comedy absolutely is. It's racial, and I think rightly so. I don't have a problem with it. I think when I see when I have black people be racist, I agree with them. It's natural. I like it. I'm right there with you. Okay, I don't like certain things. You don't like certain things. Let's talk about it. It's fine.
Yeah.
But you're.
But they'll say
absolutely,
things like they'll go, on the Titanic, motherfuckers, they woman and children first. Black people were like, get me on that fucking raft.
white people be taking shits, yo.
And you're like, wait a minute. What you're saying is black people have no honor. Is that the bit of your joke?
Well,
Or white people get attacked by a shark. You went into a shark's house, motherfucker. Of course you get eat. If a chicken comes into my house, you get eat. And you go, so you're saying you don't get statistical probability? Because the odds of you getting attacked by a shark out of the billions of swims
but that's the shark's
per
house.
year globally.
And by the way, I think you'd be a good black comedian if you.
I'm going to do it.
Wanted to moonlight, yeah,
I'm
you
gonna
do a
do
good
it.
job.
What the fuck you think gonna happen? You went into a shark house. It's the ocean. It's actually bigger than land. Let's show some of that, though, shall we?
When a black devil, black man, hasn't invaded yet, started robbing and pillaging, and you'll see the original man, that's the white man, living hand in hand as brothers, as they supposed to be doing. It's only when the black man moves in that we start getting violent and shit, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about? So they say the cracker school's more violent. Shit. Cracker, what the fuck is school? You know what I'm saying? That black motherfucking teacher up in the front of the class talking that pop, that people of color, that pop motherfucker talking about the Great Gatsby, the Great Gatsby, the Great Gatsby. Motherfucker, what the fuck is the Great Gatsby about, huh? Bunch of rich black people in love and shit? Let me tell you something about a cracker. A cracker don't want to read no motherfucking book about no rich black people. You know what I'm talking about? Bill collector be coming by my house, trying to take my mama crib away, man. They trying to take my Chrysler away, because you know a cracker don't be paying no car note.
All right, that's enough of that. It's really hard to understand. So you were making blacks crackers.
Yeah, I just switched the words around and did the usual routine.
So you did a black comedy session, but instead of black people, you said crackers. Is the implication there that black comedy has lower standards than white comedy?
No, because I mean, black comedy is really. I mean, most of it's really good. Back in the day, the Def Comedy Jam stuff is really excellent. I have a lot of admiration for that shit. I'm not trying to lampoon black comedy. I just wanted to put those. There's a lot of sort of racist stuff that I wanted to stuff in there and say in front of a mostly white liberal Boston College audience.
And how did it go down? Did they get it?
No. The organizer was laughing, though. That was the one guy who was laughing was the event organizer. And I like that guy. He's pretty good.
But I do think that a lot of black comedy is shittier. I mean, obviously Eddie Murphy is a genius.
Are you talking about new black comedy or like the Kings of Comedy? Who are you talking about?
Kings of
specifically?
Comedy is pretty good, actually. I enjoyed that. Like, I hate Steve Harvey, but when he was talking about how pot is so much stronger now than it used to be, that was pretty good. But if you watch like the Wayans Brothers movies,
Yeah.
and white chicks, where they don't look like white chicks
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
They look like robots.
Yeah.
And then there's a scene in there where one of them is farting, and maybe you could find that, Rat. One of the white chicks, which is Damon Wayans, goes into a female bathroom because he's posing as a woman.
Yeah.
And he is in the female toilet, but he's still a big black man, so he has more toots than the average small white gal.
Right.
14 farts later,
Yeah.
the scene is still going.
That's terrible. I don't think that's representative of black comedy, though. I think that the 90s, late 80s and 90s, the Def Comedy Jam stuff, Bernie Mac, Michael J. Blackson, there's really good shit. Like if you just want to go back, what they used to play on BET in the early 2000s, there's a lot of good black comedy. I mean, it's hard. I'm having a hard time thinking of any.
No, you're right. I remember
comics
seeing
who are
some
better.
dude in Williamsburg. He was talking about the different bodegas in New York, and he was like, "What I don't get about Puerto Rican bodegas is you walk in there and you're like, why the fuck is there a cat on the bread?"
Oh yeah.
I sound like I'm being sarcastic, but I really did think that was fucking hilarious.
I think I remember
Puerto
that joke.
Ricans hang out in their bodegas. So when you're looking at the soap and shit, you'll see
Yeah,
a beer, an empty beer sitting there because people were partying there the night before, and there is a cat on the bread.
There, I feel like there's a lot of good stuff back before racial tension was so high, back before things were starting to get so out of hand. Like In Living Color, there's just a ton of good stuff from that era, and I don't know what the explanation for that is, or any the reasons why.
Political correctness ruined comedy.
Yeah.
It ruined entertainment. It ruined TV. It ruined jokes. I remember seeing an SNL sketch. Here's a challenge for you, Rat, where it was, I forget the two players, but it was two black dudes, and one of them was that super dark-skinned guy on SNL, and the other was a guest who was maybe the host of that episode, or just a guy they pulled in, and he goes, "What do you think of the contention or the fact that light-skinned blacks are smarter than dark-skinned blacks?" And then the dark-skinned black dude was like, "What the motherfucker? What?" You couldn't even think that thought today.
Yeah, no, you couldn't. Do you remember Men on Film?
No.
The In Living Color sketch. It was the guy I think it was the guy who did Chocolate News. You remember Chocolate News? They did movie reviews, and they were just gay black guys, and they would give them 3 snaps for if they liked the movie. And it was one of those sketches you wouldn't see that today, because the people who are making comedy at Funny or Die and SNL, they're such fucking pussies. That it's not. It wouldn't even occur to them to say something, to do something, mildly
Well, SNL is a
offensive.
great litmus test for the state of comedy and the state of culture.
Yeah.
Because it's been pretty consistent throughout. And being funny, what's with all your standing up and
This chair is weird, man.
in what sense?
It's like a Staples. This is designed for somebody who's 5'8", and I'm sitting in it. It's got no thoracic support. It's terrible. I'm trying to get comfy here.
Comedy is
I'm comfy in my bomber jacket. I'm looking dapper. I'm ready to go to the club. I'm ready to go to Club Black.
Club 1920s Wright Brothers.
Yeah, but this chair is not doing it for me. That's all.
Comedy, being funny, and we're both funny. We haven't been flashing it tonight, but believe
we've
us,
got
folks
skills.
at home, we're actually funny
We
human
got
beings.
skills for those.
5%. 5% of the population is funny. Jokes are Fabergé eggs. If you fucking touch them or tweak them in any way, they die.
Yep.
Oh my God, you found it! I'm gonna blow you, Brat.
It was Garrett. Blow Garrett.
How did the IQ of white intellectual superiority originate in the first place?
Well, that's a very interesting point. My theory is that it's based on the fact that light-skinned blacks are smarter than dark-skinned blacks.
Did you see he fucked up the word intellectual in the bit?
The dark skinned guy.
Yes.
Say what?
That type of stuff is so good. It relieves tension too. It makes
Right.
you like hate people less.
Because we've all noticed that light-skinned blacks are smarter than dark-skinned blacks.
I would never say anything like that. That sounds completely hateful.
Chris Cotton is an exception to the rule, of course. He's a very smart and funny dark-skinned black. And Melissa Harris Perry is a fucking idiot, and she is mocha-colored. So
And Sean King is borderline genius.
how did he get away with that? He escaped.
He's borderline genius level.
He's not in shit. This is what I don't get, by the way. Rachel Dolezal, lampooned, complete fucking farce, will never work again, even at McDonald's. Sean King, exact same story. He pretends that his mom fucked a black dude. No one wants to go near it because we live in an era of the laziest journalists on earth. He's free to go. Or the Rolling Stone UVA rape hoax, right? The writer, what's her name? Sabrina Elderly or Erdley or something. This Rolling Stone writer who wrote that stupid, shitty hit piece about a that didn't happen.
Was that the Emma Sulkowicz mattress thing?
No, I'm getting to that.
Oh.
This was a totally different. This is when she was on a broken coffee table. They threw her
Oh,
down
yeah.
and fucked her in the glass.
Oh,
and
that was horrible.
no one minded that
girl.
they were bleeding to death as they dug their knees into shards of glass.
That
for
poor
some
woman.
reason. So, Rolling Stone apologized. That writer is vilified. That was a huge scandal. It kind of fucked Rolling Stone forever in a sense. Meanwhile, Elishan King, Vanessa Grigoridarius writes a cover story for New York Mag called A New Kind of Sexual Revolution with Mattress Girl holding her stupid mattress on the cover. Mattress Girl got away with it. Vanessa, the writer, she got away with it.
Well, I think just certain some of these people get lucky, I guess, and it's. I mean, it's your job. It's not my job, but it's your job to go after them.
I did. It didn't stick.
Well,
You look like Casey.
who's Casey?
Right, can you look up Casey and Finnegan? It was a cartoon. No, it was two puppets I watched as a kid in Canada. There we go.
Oh, there they are.
That's Casey.
Well, I was trying to look like Eminem, but I guess
Can you find a YouTube of Casey and
I guess I'll
Finnegan?
look like that.
He had a
That's
really
fine.
good attitude. You're going to be flattered, by the way, that you were compared to this guy.
Good.
Because he's very positive. He's got a great relationship with his dog, Finnegan. And
That's nice.
You get what I am. I'm a helpful person. And I'm a good friend.
that's you.
Now, is he a boy?
Yeah? What do you think?
Why
He's
is
a chick
why
with
isn't
short
he
hair?
wearing a dress?
No, I'm not.
Why doesn't he have women's clothes on? They're programming these children to be violent, toxic, masculine homophobes by putting him in boy clothes.
Yeah. What a shitty puppeteer, by the way. Look how bad the arms are.
Well, I liked it.
Okay, we've got Mercedes Carrera coming on soon.
Is this about that horrible thing?
I don't know what we'll talk to Mercedes about. Have you ever watched my show?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen her?
I know who she is, yeah. I haven't seen her perform because I try not to watch that sort of stuff.
You don't watch pornography?
As little as possible.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you familiar with my No Wanks campaign?
Are you no wanks? Is that you?
No Wanks.
Okay.
Do not. I would like you to join.
I'll join.
I don't know what your relationship is with your lady friend there, but it makes you her in a good way, like as a friend. All right, simmer down. No, it improves your relationship. It improves your sex too. Like a feels better if you haven't beaten off for 5 days.
I know. Oh yeah.
It's the best. And the only thing that confuses me about this campaign is when I bring it up to people and they go, no. Like if a guy said to me, don't drink milk for 2 weeks, I'd go, okay, and like not in coffee? No, just try it. I go, all right, I'll give that a whirl.
People have turned themselves into these fucking junkies. I had the same experience. This kid, I was trying to get him into weightlifting, and we went through this, we lifted together, and I showed him a bunch of stuff, and at the end of it, I was like, you probably, if you want to like boost your testosterone and become less of a female, you should probably not jerk off. And he was just absolutely like shut down. Like, no way. That's the best part of my day.
That's what Ben said.
3 times
That's what
a day.
Rat said. He goes, no thanks. It's all I got.
Yeah, you got to stop off, man. Give it 2 weeks. Give it a month. Did he get a motorcycle yet?
No.
He's done. We've given up on Rat. We're not. The only hope with Rat is now that he comes out as gay and we can start from scratch on a gay route, finding him some.
He'll still need a motorcycle though.
No, the beauty of gays is they're like chicks. All they have to do to get laid is say yes.
I think it would show Neil deGrasse Tyson or maybe Bill Nye. It would show their dimensionality if they could like maybe do something similar to that.
Neil deGrasse Tyson did do something similar. He did use his body, but it was not to make us happier, but to make us sadder. When he talked about how, because everyone loves a smart black man because it fits the liberals' view of all.
Like the Allstate insurance commercials.
Yes.
Helping out the dopey white guy in the Allstate commercials.
Yes, yes. So they
You crashed your car.
They go, it must have been hell being an astrophysicist who was black. yeah, I got sick of jobs and being the most popular guy in school. So he goes, yeah, when I find an old picture of Neil deGrasse Tyson, by the way. He goes, yeah, when I would go into stores in New York, they would look at me like I was a shoplifter. They didn't even know I was an astrophysicist.
Oh, man, boo-hoo.
And you're like, it's the 70s in fucking New York, which was a war zone. You look like you were in the Warriors. You fit the profile. Look at this guy.
He's got glass bottles.
They didn't know he was an astrophysicist. They thought he might be there to rob the fucking store in an era where stores went bankrupt every day from guys that look like that robbing them. How do you not know that's an astrophysicist, you racist? What a fucking dick. God, I hate that guy. And it's not because he's black. It's because he's an arrogant nerd. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. We hope we didn't cram too much stuff in here. We got pretty serious.
Thanks for having me here, man. It's an honor to be on here. Thank you very much.
I really appreciate you coming by. I've been a fan of yours and all the different personalities you have. I, in fact, thought some of them were separate and liked them as separate dudes. But I'd like to have you back regularly. We've barely scratched the surface here.
We'll be doing some scratching.
Here's the key, folks. Here's the point of the show, and what I think is the point of the Anthony Camilla Network. It's about freedom. It's about doing something new and not being afraid to do it. It's about using your real name. It's about getting in trouble. It's about saying what's on your mind.
You don't like the anonymous handles?
No, I don't like anonymous handles. Because you got to be
saying
proud of
important
yourself.
things that need to be said?
Well, then they're irrelevant if it's an anonymous name.
Why?
Because it's a hat said something.
So what? If
no
they
one
say
listens
it and
to
it's
a hat.
If it's cogently argued and it resonates,
It
then
could
who
be a
gives fuck?
14-year-old or an elephant. I don't know who
cares?
said this. Then I'm not listening. You might as well write it on a bathroom wall. Apparently, this is going to become the subject for a whole other show. Be brave, get in trouble, get arrested, get fired. Let's all get in this together. They can't kill us all. I love you guys.
So, if you enjoyed that clip,
then subscribe to Compound Censored using this promo code.